me be bad moonwalking in this here is a party. My posse's been on Broadway and we did it all way. Chrome music, I shed my skin and put my bones into everything I record to it. And yeah, I'm on. Let that stage light go and shine on down. Got that Bob Barker suit game and Plinko in my style. Money, stay on my craft and stick around for those pounds. But I do that to pass the torch and put on for my town. Trust me, on my INDEPENDENT shit hustling. Chasing dreams since I was 14 with the 4-track bustin'. Halfway across that city with the back crush shit. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give that to the people, spread it across the country. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give it to the people.
Here we go, Running to Executive. Welcome to the first call. You're going to be excited, you're going to be committed, because we aren't here to muck around. Welcome to week 1. Who's excited? Probably in the chat. Hi there.
We go back. This is the moment. Tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over. So we put our hands up like this.
The most fun you can have with your pants off on a Zoom training. Welcome to Run to Executive. My name's Lloyd Ross, and I'm joined with Alicia Fernandez and Jennifer Schultz, and a few others, including Steve Foxwell, I can see there, and a few other millionaires in our students, including Andrew Logan, Scotty Wood, a few of my other friends there, Adam in the backwards cap. And of course, all you legends who have actually been identified and invited exclusively to participate in this no muck around 6-week Run to Executive. So I just had an e-shot, so you can tell I'm very excited and probably won't sleep tonight. But this is the way it is, right? You got to bring your energy. So to kick things off, we have a very tight schedule today, but this call may go for 90 minutes. I don't apologize for that because I build my business unapologetically. You are allowed to do the same thing. Not that you need permission, but you can. So if you need to jump off, that's up to you. Want to kick it off first with a bit of housekeeping, then I'm going to hand you over to start the training. So just we're going to have some slides here. So I'm just going to share them with you and run through some basic stuff. Normally I just do this and it works. Let's try it again. My goodness. What the heck's going on here?
As we're awkwardly waiting for Lloydie to get the slides up, why don't you do us a favor and pop in the chat, where in the world are you tuning in from? Lloyd and I are coming live from the beautiful Gold Coast here in Australia. Let's get some interaction happening in the chat. So where are you tuning in from? We'd love to know. We've got Melbourne in the house. We've got Brisbane in the house.
All right, we're on.
Woohoo! Amazing. Wow. Love ANZ domination.
What happened there? First time in 10 years. All right. Thanks, Alicia, for jumping in there and saving my skin. Teamwork makes the dream work. All right. So everyone on mute, just make sure you're on mute. Let's go through some. Karen's going to put you on mute there. Okay, let's go. Ready? Straight up housekeeping. This is 6 weeks. Okay. The calls are live each week. The recordings will be posted in the Facebook group. So you can watch them there. But of course, it's always better to come to the live. Okay, because you get to participate, interact, and it's just way more commitment. It's the same Zoom link. This is the exact same one. So just save this in your notes section, click it. There's no password, jump straight in. Okay. Now, the other thing is this. The expectations of this would be that you'd have your cameras on and you'd be leaning in and ready to start training. So you'd bring notepad, pen, cameras on, leaning in. And what that means too is no laying in bed while we're training. No cooking, no mucking around in the kitchen, right? We're really going to treat you like millionaires straight off the bat. So if you don't like it, you're welcome to leave, okay? But you guys are leaders, and we'd expect you just to show up, like leaders, like we would, right? Like we are, okay? So there's going to be a lot of interactions. So it's not going to be us talking at you. It's probably most of it right now, but it's going to be very interactive, okay? So if you can't interact, please don't get on the Zoom. It won't be fair to the others. Okay. So if you're ready to meet and mingle and do some tasks, you're in the right place. Any questions or wins or anything you want to share, please don't DM me on Messenger or Alicia or Jen. Just pop your question into the group. Why? Because if you have that question, probably someone else does too, and we can all learn together and teach everyone in one go in the Facebook group. So just pop it in there, it'll get approved, and we can answer it in there. The outcomes of this program will be up to you, but the expectations we have on the program would be, of course, that if you want to go executive, then the minimum outcome would be you're on the path to executive. Okay, you know you're going to be equipped to go. Okay, but also if you want to go executive in 6 weeks, you're quite welcome to. There have been people in the past go executive in a week. If you want to, you can. Okay, it's up to you, but the outcomes would be you either go executive or you're on the pathway to executive. But another outcome, we have some serious leaders on this call with great potential, okay, who are just really beginning their journey as we see it. And one of the outcomes we want is to develop absolute independence in them to be able to build their business how they want without having to ask anyone any questions or permission, okay? Build a community, run teams, run masterclasses, really get after it and build it how they want to build it without having to worry about sidelines and uplines and so forth, okay? So that's another outcome we expect. So to kick the training off, I'm going to hand you over to someone very special. This young lady has been very instrumental to the success of Isagenix, not just in Australia, but globally. She's been an absolute powerhouse, lifting Australia up to be one of the leading markets through the late teens of the 2000s. And she has also been a wonderful mentor to us in many different ways. We've kind of been on this journey together, done all sorts of different things together, and of course, won lots of trips and so on. But what I love about her the most is that she's got this superpower to really find the best in you and bring it out of you and challenge you, okay? And she's done that to me personally, challenged me personally. And I took it personally and I went and did something about it, okay? That's how much respect we have for her. So it's very, very, very unusual if you're fairly new to this business to actually be trained by this lady. It took us to get to 3-star Golden Circle Crystal Executive Start 1000 before we even got to be introduced to her. Fact. So yes, it does that. I think about that because I think about, that's earning your way to a great leader. So if you are in here and you haven't hit 3-star Golden Circle Executive yet, and you're in the midst of this lady, you're very lucky. It wasn't like that for us. So what that means is pay close attention because this opportunity may not come around again. Okay. So a quick intro. She's earned over $11 million US with Isagenix so far, which is incredible. Yes, give her a round of applause. These numbers aren't up to date, but she's definitely helped probably around 600 people earn 20,000 plus, 150 people earn 60,000, 180 people earn over 100,000, probably over 40 or 50 to earn $250,000. Probably now 30 earn over $500,000 and 6 over 750, but she's been able to develop between 16 and 18 millionaires, which is absolutely incredible. And we're very fortunate to be one of those millionaires. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce the trainer for the first part of the call and for the 6 weeks, Jennifer Schultz.
Oh gosh, Lloyd. Well, that's definitely enough about me. We can go straight on to some more interesting stuff. And I just want to say, first of all, thank you all so much for being here. I'm so grateful that you're all taking time out of your day, out of your week, and hanging out with Lloyd and Alicia and I, and just being open and willing to learn and willing to consider that maybe there's a better life out there, and maybe, just maybe, Isagenix is the best way to achieve that better life. And so I want to say a huge thank you to my partners in crime, Lloyd and Alicia. I just love working with you both. And I just want you all to know that they are like tech geniuses and they can run anything technical like this. And so when I'm around them, I'm just like, oh, wow. So if you're feeling like, oh, I can't do what they do, don't worry, neither can I. And you can still be successful in doing this, okay? So we all have strengths and we all have weaknesses, and we can work with our strengths and we can find other people to work with to fill in the gaps, which is really an amazing part about this business. It's teamwork. It really is teamwork in the best way, because when we help each other become successful, that just creates our success. And I don't know where else you can really find that in in any other real situation, in any other type of business or business model or workplace. So it's so great to meet you, and I'm really excited to get to know you all a little better. Some of you I know really well, and others of you I hardly know at all yet. So welcome. And I also want to say a huge thank you to the most amazing GM on the planet, who is Steve Foxwell. Guys, I've been in Europe for a couple of years, and I love working with the team over there, the Isagenix corporate team. They're amazing, but Foxy is by far the best. He's so awesome. Foxy, we're so lucky to have you here in Australia, and just promise you're never going to leave us, because we got a lot of work to do. And look, here he is. He doesn't have to be here. He's just going to hang out with us, and he's always just so supportive, and he's always listening and asking, what do we need and what can help make our job easier. And it's our partnership, it's the bridge that we have between field and the corporate that really enables us to do what we do best. And we have the same goals, right, as the corporate team. We want more sales, because more sales means that we help more people with the thing that matters most, which is their health, and the thing that matters second most, or equally as most, which is their bank account. So that being said, Foxy, did you want to, before I start waffling away, did you want to say anything to everyone?
Well, I thank you for that lovely intro as well, Jen. That's too kind of you to say that. And I've missed you for the last however many years, but we were talking a lot as you spent time in Europe. We would always connect, wouldn't we? But I'm very grateful that you were back on the ground here in ANZ, as they call it in America, ANZ, because we do have a similar mind, I think, you and I, Jen, and we're always trying to figure out what is the best for our company, what's the best for our field, what's the best, where's the gaps, where's the skills. Me and Jen talk about it, honestly, probably more than anybody else does. It's like every kind of time of day and night, Jen, I think we're on the phone with each other, aren't we? What about this and what about this? So anyway, as we kind of went through, a funny period in our lives, right? And here we are in 2024, and that's well and truly in the rear view mirror now, which is really, really good to see. And I'm excited for the year ahead. We've started it off incredibly strong. We had a really good back end to the year, as many of you know. Our November and December numbers were incredible. We've got some amazing leadership already starting to brew in Australia. You heard it on the call last night. How many brand new executives from that Vietnamese team are absolutely killing it right now. So it's all guns blazing in ANZ. So I'm so grateful, Jen, for you and to Lloydie and Alicia and the whole team for putting this together, because I think your experience, your skill set, your collaboration, your contribution to this group is just going to be absolutely just insane. And I know that everyone's going to value it so much. So I'm excited to listen in. I'm excited to see all of you kind of get some aha moments with this as well. And we can all move forward as a company together and just make this absolutely beautiful. So over to you, Jen. Thanks.
Awesome. So I think we've got Australia, we've got New Zealand, we've got Sweden, we've got Austria, we've got the UK, we've got a big mix, and everyone figuring it out from different time zones. So let's get Lloydie, can you pop the slides back up?
Yep.
We might just start. Let's just dive straight on in to what really matters most. So actually, Lloyd, can you go straight to the next one for me? Yeah, that one. Awesome. Let's start there and we'll go back to the other one. So just pop a 1 in the chat if you feel like over the last, as Steve said, we've been through a bit of a funny time, but just pop a 1 in the chat if you feel like over the last 3 years, you kind of just dulled down your dreams and you kind of just felt like maybe life wasn't as much in your control and you kind of just forgot how to think big and dream big. Yeah, a lot of people that I talk to really are feeling like that. Look at all those ones. Yeah, lots of ones. And so imagine if we're feeling like that, And we know how it feels to get healthier, and we know how quickly that can happen. And we know that maybe there's, you know, we're surrounding ourselves with people who are doing pretty cool things in life, but we still feel like that. Look at all those ones. So imagine we have a world out there, all the people we know are probably feeling the same. And if we think about what we really do in Isagenix, we give hope. Because humans without hope, humans who are feeling like it's hopeless, it's just, what's the point of life, right? What's the point of living? But when we have hope, we can do anything, we can achieve anything. And so if we're selling anything in this business, we're actually selling hope, hope for a better future, hope for better health, hope for a better bank account so that we have more freedom, so we have more choice. And so we have a really big job at the moment to help pick up the world, to clean up the mess that was created and to start dishing out hope again. I really think that that's our biggest job right now. And I think we need to remember that hope has been lost and people are feeling really contained, and people are feeling like they're just stuck in a box that's out of their control. But we're here to say, all of us, we're going to be a big loud voice to say, you know what? We can lift the lid on the box. We can jump outside the box. We can design our own life, and we can make that life whatever we want it to be. And we're so fortunate because we know about this thing called Isagenix, and most people don't even know about it yet. But here we are, we know about it. We know what's possible. We've seen other people do it. And if someone else can, we can too. So the thing though is what Leanne just said, can someone let Fiona in please? Lloyd or Alicia, thank you. The thing is, humans are, what we're really, really good at is figuring out how to stay where we are. Because there's an old part of our brain that likes to keep us safe in the cave. Because when we're safe in the cave, we can't get eaten by the lion or attacked by another caveman if we peek outside the cave. So we have a really strong pull to stay in the cave. And we do lots and lots of things to make ourselves feel okay about staying in the same cave. And we need to be aware of that, because when we're feeling like we want a different life, we want to change some things, we have to step out of that cave into the unknown zone, right? Into the scary place. And there's all sorts of voices, our own voices, other people's voices. There's a lot of pull to get us back into that cave. And that's just our survival mechanism kicking in. But truth is, we're not going to get eaten by a lion. We're not going to get bashed over the head by another caveman, right? That's how it used to be years and years ago. So what we need to do to make sure that we, you know, so many people say, yeah, but I'm just not motivated, or I just keep procrastinating. Who does that? Just chuck a 2 in the chat if you're a procrastinator. I think we all procrastinate at some point on different things. Yeah, procrastination is just your way to stay in the cave, right? It's your way not to do the thing that you need to take the steps to get out of the cave, because that's the pull back in. It's your safety voice going, get back here. So what humans do, we're really good at making sure there's no distance between A and B. So I want to tell you a little story. So imagine if I'm sleeping in a bed and the cat peed in it, it's super saggy. It's like, it squeaks every time Jono moves. It basically wakes me up and just about tosses me out of bed. And the next day, and I wake up, I've got a sore neck. I can hardly turn my head. My back's aching. I'm walking down the street. I go past a bed shop and the guy goes, hey, Jen, we've just got some new beds in here. We call them cloud beds. Come in and have a lay down. So we go in and I lay down on the cloud bed, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, this is magic. And so because there's such a big difference between A and B, from my saggy cat pee stinky bed to this cloud bed that's just like amazing, there's more chance that I'm going to take some action, right, to buy that bed. But imagine I buy the bed and then the next day I get it home, have the best night's sleep ever. The next day I walk down the street again and a different salesman says, hey, Jen, come in and lay on the cloud bed. And I'm like, I go over to him and I'm like, oh yeah, John got me in here yesterday and I bought a bed. There's no way that Sam can sell me a cloud bed today, right? No way Sam can sell me a cloud bed, because my A and my B are on top of each other. My A is my B. Make sense? And so in our life, in our own life, if our A and our B aren't separate, we will not take action. We'll procrastinate. We'll make up a story. We'll justify. We'll blame. We'll do all sorts of things to keep ourselves at A in the cave and stop ourselves from going to the B. And the reason we need to understand this so well is because our business success is dependent on us finding out the A and the B and stretching it for everyone we talk to, whether it's in terms of their health or their wealth. That's all we do, right? We pull apart the A and the B. Now, the thing is, as humans, think about A as sitting your butt on the nail. So we're so good at lifting our butt off the nail. We do things like we go, well, yeah, I got an extra 10 kilos on me, I know, but all my girlfriends, they're at least got 15 they could lose. Like, I'm doing pretty okay if I've only got an extra 10. Or we say, oh, I don't even know how we're going to buy food in the 4th week of the month, but everyone's broke. It's just like rising costs of living. Government doesn't fix anything, keeps raining all the time. Cyclone, tornado, like the world's a mess. Everyone's basically starving by the end of the month. And so we don't do anything about it. So we justify, we blame, we complain, oh, well, I just don't want to think about my problems anymore. I'm going to drink this bottle of wine tonight so I don't have to think about it. So we do all of these things to lift our butt off the nail. And what are we doing when we're lifting our butt off the nail? We're moving our A and our B closer. And what happens when we move our A and our B closer? We don't do anything. And we tell ourselves, oh, we use distraction. I'm so busy. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so busy. If I had $1 for everyone who tells me they're so busy and so overwhelmed, I'd have an extra $11 million. Because that's the story. It's just a story, right? We all have 24 hours in the day. Richard Branson, he's a gazillionaire billionaire. He has the same 24 hours in the day, right? It's not a lack of time that is the reason we don't have the results. So we lift our butt off A, so we fling it closer to B. And then we have a really clever thing we do. We dull down our B, we dull down our dreams to match our income. So we say, oh, you know what? I'm just going to go camping, and the people next to me always annoy the crap out of me because they have a fight at the middle of the night, and there's someone who plays really loud music. Someone always brings their dog that barks the whole time. But you know what? It's a holiday, but it's not really the holiday that we really want to go on. But we tell ourselves, yeah, I'm happy enough with that. I'm going to settle for that. I really want to send my kids to that school, but I don't know. It's just money. We can't really afford it. So I'll just let go of that dream. I really want to, like, years ago, when I was 14, my mum and dad had to sell the farm that we lived on. And I promised myself then, because I saw the tears, I saw the pain, I saw the stress of having no money, of them gradually going broke. And I promised myself I'd buy them another farm one day. And so that was a dream to hold on to. So we get to choose, are we going to dream our dreams or are we going to let go? So first thing is really important that we get clear on this and we keep it clear. Clarity is king. Clarity is everything. When you allow the clouds to come over, when you let it all fuzz up, you've got to know that you're letting A and B come closer so that you don't have to take any action. And so what we're going to do is we're going to sit on the nail and we're going to face some realities that are going to feel painful for some of you. And they're going to feel like a little bit of an oh shit moment. But I know for sure, if I didn't face the reality of if I keep doing what I'm doing, my dad's going to be 108 before I get the farm. And what's the point of that? That was my one big dream. So something had to change. And I had to sit there and I had to do the math and face the fact that with what I was saving each year, I was just not going to get there. Or I had to let go of that dream. Either or. And if you look around, and some of you will be doing this, you know you've let go of the dream. You stop dreaming because it just feels so far away. It just feels like you're never going to get there. And it's flipping scary, right? Because it's like you have a story about what it's going to take to get there. So we're going to get really clear on where you are now, or you're going to get really clear on where you are now and why you don't want to stay there. And you're going to pin that up somewhere, especially for the next 6 weeks, so that you're looking at it every single day. So you get in the habit of looking at it every single day. Even today, when I don't feel like doing the work, I ask myself the question, I'm like, Jen, what if you don't feel like doing the work, what's going to happen? Well, one, you're going to have to go back to pressing on backs and necks and stinky bum and smelling stinky bum cracks all day. That's what happens when you're a physio. That's basically your life. It's just like same old thing. And my dream now is to start an animal rescue foundation. All of those animals are going to miss out. So I get on my phone every night and I scroll a few reels before I go to sleep of all the animal rescue foundations in the world that I follow. And I look at the starving horses and I look at all the cruelty that people do to those animals. And that pings me back, it attaches me back to my bee. And I'm like, I have to get up tomorrow and I have to have a full day because those animals need me to make lots of money so that I can set that up for them. But it's like, so it's every day. I can't ignore my A and I can't ignore my B, and neither can you. Right. So what's your B? There's 2 Bs. Now what happens is it's really hard to think about our dream life or our soul's purpose. Like I think about the Animal Rescue Foundation as my soul's purpose. My dream was my farm or traveling in Europe with the family for the last 2 years. But it's really impossible to think about our dreams if we haven't got our head above water. If we feel like we're drowning financially and we can't get a breath because we're just running out of money all the time and we're not sure where the next bill's coming from. We've all been there. And it's not a fun place to be. It's not living like that. That's not a life. And there are plenty of ways to create more money. There's 1,000 roads that lead to Rome. But what we're going to do on this call today is help you see exactly how to choose your path. And it may or may not be Isagenix. You may not come back for another call next week. And that's okay for whatever reason. Because you don't want to hang out with us, or you decide Isagenix is not your thing, or you decide that it's not the right time for you to move towards your B. And that's fine. We're going to hang out with the people who are ready to roll and ready to go from their A to their B. Okay, Lloyd, can you pop up the next one for me, please? Right, so first thing is your A and your B. And what we're going to, there's just 2 questions. These 2 questions are how I built my entire business. And everyone I come into contact with, I ask these 2 questions. And it's just, I don't know where to start. I don't know how to talk to people. People say, what do you say, Jen? I'm like, well, it depends what they say to me. So I asked them these 2 questions. You know, Lloyd, if you could change anything about your health, say in the next 90 days, what would you change? That's what I say. And I wait and I see what Lloyd says. And then depending on the situation, sometimes I say, hey, another question. If you could change anything about your financial situation or your wealth in the next, I don't know, 12 months, what will you change? And it's the quickest way to get to know someone. And people are scared to ask these questions, but I want to promise you, when we ask those questions, people love it because no one cares about anyone anymore. People are so disconnected. People are pretending they've got all these friends because they say happy birthday when the reminder comes up from on Facebook. It's like, oh, I got all these friends, blah, blah, blah. But if it wasn't for Facebook, how many friends would you have? Because they're your real friends. And so when we actually care enough to ask someone these deeper questions, they just most people lean in. I just have never had a bad experience. I've never had someone say, oh, F off. I'm not telling you that. People just like, oh, well, and it's so surprising. Some people don't have an answer. So how are they ever going to change anything if they don't know what their A is and they don't know what their B is? And pretty much everyone who I coach in this business, same question, they're not clear on their A and their B. They go, oh, I kind of want to think I might. I'm like, yeah, but exactly what and when and what does that look like and how much is it going to cost? Oh, I don't know. Oh, I want to be executive. Yeah, but what's that? It's not about executive, and Alicia's going to talk to us about that. It's not really about executive. I mean, executive doesn't pay the bills. It's about what executive means. So then I think people don't ask the question because it's like, oh shit, well, what do I say then? Like when they answer, then what do I say? Oh, that's nice, Lloyd. You want to lose your 2 kilos that you put on at Christmas. Okay, well, then what do I say, right? And so I like to keep things really simple. My brain just likes simple. And so I have a really simple structure. You can choose your own framework, but you got to choose your framework. Otherwise, you're just going to get stuck in the, I don't know what I'm going to say. So I use WOOP, wish, outcome, obstacle, plan. So you can write that down. Wish, outcome, obstacle, plan. So when I say to Lloyd, if you could change anything about your health in the next 90 days, what would you change? That's the wish. I'm finding out what's Lloyd's wish. What's his problem that he wants solved? Because until I know that, I can't just say, well, here, you should buy Isagenix. Like for what? For why? So Lloyd says, oh, I want to lose 2 kilos. So then outcome is the second O is outcome. So why? Well, so what? So what, Lloyd? 2 kilos, big deal. And he's like, well, Alicia's just paying me out all the time. Like she's looking hot as, and here I am. She's like, oh, Lloydie, you've got a bit of a dad bod going on. Hit 40. And he's like, I don't want to be like all the other 40-year-olds. Like, oh, cool. Awesome. And so what have you tried, Lloyd? Obstacle. What have you already tried? How come you haven't? Why did you put it on? Why have you lost it? Why haven't you lost it already? What's going on? And Lloyd might be like, oh, I don't know, a couple of beers every night, kind of in a fun place, stop going to the gym. I tried Weight Watchers, didn't like counting points. Got to find out what's Lloyd's stuff. And then the plan, it's like, well, have you got a plan to get rid of it, Lloyd? Well, clearly he doesn't, or he would have. So then I just say, well, can I help you? Can I show you a plan? I think you can get rid of that in a couple of days, mate. So it all depends, right, on Lloyd's plan. So now what we're going to do, I think if we go to the next slide, we'll skip that one. We'll come back to that one. I think we're going to have a little practice. Are we good for that, Alicia, where we can go into you're the tech queen?
We're ready to go.
Where we can go and do what we need to do, and we can work through these 2 questions and have a little practice with each other.
What we might do first, Jen, is get them to write it down in themselves, ask themselves that question. So like pretend like you're asking them so that they can answer it now for a couple of minutes. Then we'll move them into a breakout. So guys, maybe take just 2 minutes to write down the answers to these 2 questions. So pretend Jen just asked you these 2 questions, write down the answers.
Yeah, so your answers for you. Awesome.
And then once you're done, just pop your little virtual hand up. Or your real hand, if you're not a tech person. Do a dance if you want to. It's up to you.
So wherever you're at, I've never met anyone on the whole entire planet who doesn't have something they want to change about their health. There probably are people who are pretty happy with their financial situation, but they're in super yachts in Croatia.
Okay, probably ready to go.
Yep, everyone got that?
Everyone ready? So here's what we'll do to frame this. We're going to do what's called a breakout session. And we want you to practice asking these questions to someone else. So you get practice using this lead generator. Wherever you go, you can generate influence with these 2 questions. So we're going to put 21 breakout rooms together, which means you're going to be in pairs. So you're going to have a special person you're going to have this conversation with one-on-one, like you could anywhere else in the world, face-to-face, on Zoom, whatever. So when we break it out, the person with the shortest hair will go first. They will ask the question at the top, and then you swap. And then after that, you ask the question at the bottom, and then you swap. It's probably not going to take too long, maybe 5 minutes. We'll come back and unpack this, okay? So ready?
So wait, Lloyd, wait, just real quick. So then when they say the answer, think about the Whoop framework. So have a little practice because it only takes a minute, right? Just ask quickly. So why? What's the outcome? So practice the Whoop. So find out what would they change, then what's the outcome? Then why haven't you already done it? Why aren't you there yet? What do they listen to what they say? And then say, what's your plan? Okay, what's your plan? I'm excited to know. Okay, and then, oh, okay, you don't have one. Awesome. Or maybe they have a plan. Maybe they're halfway through it. Awesome. Maybe we can't help them, but we're listening for that. Awesome. Okay, let's go.
Ready to go? 3, 2, 1. We'll see you back in the main room soon. Keep an eye out for the messages that go into the room. Person with the shortest hair goes first. If you are in a room with 3, I'll move you. So don't get too comfy. If you're in by yourself, I'll also move you back.
I was in a room with 3, so I left. Is that the way I should be?
I'll move you. I'll move you.
Okay.
Otherwise, we can't move you to someone. So just let's go here. Where are you now, Camilla?
That's okay.
Where are you though? I can't see you on here.
Oh, I'm definitely here.
Move to room 1. Oh, room 1's not on there. Room 17. Yeah.
Shall I join now? Say join.
Yep.
Hey, there was only me in the room.
Okay, you can move Katie to room 14 with Scotty.
Okay, room 14.
Cool, thank you.
Caroline and Francis, are you there? Fiona's here still. Melanie, you in the main room still?
Yep, she's here.
Melanie, you go first. Why don't we just play around in here in this room as a breakout? So why don't you ask us those 2 questions, starting with the first one?
Okay, hello.
Hello.
If you could
Still there? She's frozen. Still there, Melanie? Still there, Melanie?
there
Yep.
we go. I'm back. Yay.
Study, go again.
you could change anything about your health, what would you change, Lloyd?
No more alcohol, I think I would change. Less alcohol. Yeah. But also
And
more energy, but it might make it easy for you, more energy.
what would it mean to you if you were able to reduce your alcohol intake and increase your energy?
Yeah, it'd be good. Yeah, I mean, it'd be good. Yeah, I'd love to.
That's good.
Next question. Think about the wish, the whoop, rather. Whoop. So I've said to you, I'd love to
Right.
change my energy. I'd love to change my drug. I'd love to change my energy. So you just asked me like, what would it mean to me? But say, so what do you want to achieve with energy? And I'll say, get more energy. What's the next question after that in the WOOP?
Okay, the obstacle.
The
Because
out-
I didn't think you answered the outcome, to be honest. That's why I was still waiting for you to actually answer that.
No, because you've got to ask why. Why
I
do
thought I did.
just go back and start again?
Okay, I said, what would it mean to you if you were able to do that and get more energy? What would it mean to you to do that?
That would mean, yeah, it would mean a lot.
Why?
Why? Because I like to be more productive and more active in the gym.
Okay. And what would that give you? Do
You want some help?
yeah.
Ask why do you want to just repeat their answer. So why do you want to, whatever I said, go to the gym, be more active in the gym and be more productive?
Okay. So why do you want to be more active and have more energy in the gym and be more productive in the gym?
Yeah, because I'd like to be able to get back in shape again to what I was when I was 30. And I'd also like to be able to achieve more each day to be able to, do better in our businesses and serve more people.
Okay. And what would that give you? How would that change your life?
Well, I think it'd make me feel better about myself, more self-confidence, and it'd certainly get us more results in our business and our income, and allow us to achieve more and make a greater impact for longer.
Okay. So then tell me, if you really want to do that and that's big on your wish list, what's
Still there? I think you cut out the internet.
Oh, did you not hear that?
I think you just cut out. Just ask it again.
Oh, all right. I did it so well the first time.
No, you did good. No, just the obstacle part. Just the obstacle part.
Yeah, I said, so tell me, if that would make such an impact in your life, can you tell me what's actually prevented you? What's been in the way? What stopped you from actually achieving that goal?
That's a good question. Well, I changed my training routine and I stopped setting goals, and I stopped cleansing. I stopped fasting.
Right. Okay, so then
Let me help you out with someone who's not on Isagenix. I've been in pretty good health. I mean, I've loved my products. I'm okay, but it's like, yeah, I'm trying to think back to before I started. So like, well, I've tried jogging. I've tried like cutting calories. I've tried like Weight Watchers, which we did, but that was terrible food. It was like so not tasty. I mean, tried everything, and just nothing worked long term. Like nothing. Like nothing works. And I don't want to give up beer.
Okay, so if I told you that there was something that you haven't tried yet, would you be open to hearing about it?
Yep. Hit me. I've tried everything, but what do you got?
All right.
Awesome.
Now this is what I would say. Oh, I've got a present. That this is where I get stuck. It's like, okay, great. So now they've asked me,
Huh?
do I just invite them to a presentation, or do I do the presentation right there?
Ah,
Or
good. This is good.
that's what it's like. Ah, shit. Then
Okay.
I'm like,
Great. Okay. That's really good. This is great. So this is where you get stuck, right?
yeah. Now I just got hot flashes.
Wow. Okay. Do you want to do it the hard way or the easy way?
It's menopause.
It's menopause. So do you want? This is so simple, Melanie. When you get this, you'll turn into a network marketing ninja. Okay. Ready?
Love to.
With network marketing, unless you're asking questions, which you're allowed to do anytime, as many as you want, you can ask questions all day long. But when they say yes, and your mouth is moving, and there's not a question to ask, it must be sending someone to a third-party tool, or you're not going to make sales. So what I mean by that is this. Awesome. So are you on social media? I can send you some information.
Okay.
Yes, I'm on Facebook. Let's connect. Bang, bang. Right? And then you get their information, you connect with them, and then you follow up later. And you say, hey, you know how you mentioned you were open to that plan, how you're going to get in shape and finally get something that works? And they say, yeah. And you say, great. Would you like me to send you a link to the information that explains it? Or would you like me to invite you to this online webinar that explains it? Would you like me to invite you to this in-home party that explains it? And I'll say yes. And then you're good to go. So there's no work in network marketing. That's the beauty of it. You're done after that. So sorry, I'm just tidying. We're just finishing our session here. Everyone back in the main room?
I think we're all back.
Okay, great. Sorry, Melanie, where you go?
Yes, I'm back here because we was interrupted and get back here.
All,
So the
all good.
system, yeah.
Yep. Awesome, Karen. Yeah, we're all back, I think, so we can keep moving forward. Yeah, super. So Lloyd, do you want to just explain to everyone what you were saying to Melanie?
Sure. So we're having a conversation. Melanie was going through Whoop, and I really picked up, and well done, Melanie. Awesome. I could tell that Melanie, which is why she's on this call, which is perfect. She probably hasn't said it a lot because it was a little bit challenging to find the right words. And it is complex if you it feels like something new. Like, what just came up? Did I just ask it the right way? So when you do this more and more and more, it'll become easier. So when we were chatting, she said to me, if you could have one breakthrough in your health, what would it be? And I said, more energy. And she said, what would that mean to you? And it was kind of a bit lost. So she said, what do you want to achieve with your energy? And I gave the answer. Then she moved to the next one. And she said, why do you want to get more energy? And that's the outcome question. It's just start with why. Why do you want to get more energy? I explained why. Then she said, well, what stopped you? Why haven't you done it yet? I said, oh, I've tried everything. Tried jogging, tried this, tried that. And then she said, well, if I had a plan that you hadn't tried yet, would you be open to taking a look? And I said, yeah. And that's when she got flustered and hot. And I openly said it, because by the way, I've been there, right? I've sweated on people at coffee shops. We all go through it, and don't worry, you get past that. But this is why probably Melanie's not asking this question, because she's stuck there. Is anyone else stuck there with what to do when they actually say yes? Hands right up. I can't see. Okay. Very good. That's a great breakthrough for the field of Isagenix. Okay. So Jen, would you like me to explain the next part, or did everyone hear what I was talking to Melanie about?
Yeah, I do, Lloyd. And just before you go there, I just want to remind everyone to be listening to everything and learning in the next 6 weeks with 2 sets of ears, right? So there's some stuff some of you have already mastered, and you go, oh yeah, that was easy, that bit, right? But has your whole team mastered that? Yeah. And so if we have a downline or an organization full of people who don't have these skills, guess what happens when people feel like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to say? We do nothing. We say nothing. And so how do we upskill everyone? These are just skills. And as Lloyd said, it gets easier with practice. Everything feels awkward when we first start. So for some of you, you've been through, you know, that process, you've been hanging around for a while. It's just like soup. You've been talking to people, you've been out of your comfort zone, you're great at connecting. That's awesome. And it's easy just to go, yeah, I know that. But does your whole team know that? Because the second part of this business, where you get all that beautiful leverage and recurring income, like, you know, 20 grand a week is just comes on in, even if you didn't make a sale this week. That is, does your team know what to do? And you're going to need to become the teacher for your team if you want the big bucks, right? Yeah. So going back to where you were at with Melanie Wood.
You know what I was thinking as you were talking then, Jen, a sale is made in 5 questions. And I really want everyone to understand this, because if you do, you'll find network marketing so easy. And Jen often says, you know, it's not sales, it's problem solving, which is 100% correct. It is problem solving. So the 5 questions are, if you could have one breakthrough in your health in the next 90 days, what would it be? That's the opening question. They'll tell you. Then you go through Whoop, which is 4 questions. What are you wanting to achieve? Great, that's awesome. What are you actually wanting to achieve with your health? First question. Second question, why do you want to achieve that? That's all you have to say. Why do you want to achieve that? Why do you want to lose that 5 kilos? Fourth question, what's stopping you? What have you tried so far? That's the obstacle, right? 5th question, if I had a plan that you'd never heard of before, you could try, it was pretty simple, that helped me, would that be of value to you? Would it help you? If I could show you something that I've recently done that did this, and you show them your picture, would that help you? 5th question, and they'll either say yes or no. And at that point, you've made a sale. If they lean in and say yes, your sale is made. I know they haven't purchased yet, but they've actually got a pre-closing yes. It's called pre-closing. If they lean out and say, nah, I'm all good, they'll lean out. Stop talking to them. Don't harass them. They'll go into the witness protection program because of you. You'll give the industry a bad name. When they lean out, stop, change the subject. Just connect with them, move on. That's when you know you've made a sale. They answer 5 questions. That's it. You've mastered network. If you can do that, the rest is easy. See how simple? Everyone's making it so complex. So to answer the question of Melanie, she got flustered. What do I do next? It's very simple. You can ask as many questions as you want. As many as you want. But as soon as they answer yes, and your mouse starts moving, if it's not sending someone to a third-party tool, you will not duplicate your business. So here's the trick. Stop working so hard. Stop it. When they say yes, they say, great, are you on Facebook? I can send you some information on Messenger. Yes, I am, because 2 billion other people are. Of course, I'm probably on Facebook. Great place to connect. You connect them, you go home, and you say, hey, Jill, really nice to connect with you today. When you said you wanted to get those results and learn about this program, were you serious about that or just kidding around? No, I was serious. Great. Would it be okay if I sent you some information now? Yes. Send the information. Send a video. Send, invite them to an event. Invite them to a webinar. Invite them to a phone call. Great. Are you free for a 5-minute chat? I can explain my story and my experience to you. Whatever it is, that's all you need to do. And then let the video and the tool, the event, whatever it is, let that do the selling for you. And they'll either say yes or no, like, yep, sign me up or not, and you're done. That's the whole process. Now, when you enroll some people who get the products, get the results, if you want to do what Jen just said, which is scale your business to get to 20 grand a week, you just got to teach people those 5 questions. Really? Anyway, is that enough?
Yeah. Yeah, and then there will become a point where you become the tool, right? You know so much, you've been doing it for so long. So for me, some people I know in my organization have a great network, but they're just too busy doing their own thing. So I'm just like, I want you to tap me into those people, give them to me, because I know when I get one-to-one with them, I'm going to make a sale. And so I don't necessarily send a tool, because I'm going to make the sale on the spot, right? I'm just going to go, yep, you need this. And because I have influence equals certainty times enthusiasm, right? Like that, you cannot, no one can tell me there's anything better than Isagenix for our health on this whole entire planet. And it's not that I'm closed to other things. I've looked at everything else. There just is nothing. There's nothing that ticks the boxes that Isagenix ticks. And I get people approaching me all the time and I say, yep, send it to me. I will take a look. And I'm like, nah, soy, nah, fillers, nah, oh, they don't even have a meal replacement. I mean, like there isn't anything. And then they go, oh, I use Lady Shake. Oh yeah, great. You know what's in that? A whole lot of nothing good. But I say to people, send me a screenshot and let me do a comparison for you so I can tell you if you're wasting your money. I already know they're wasting their money, but I don't just say you're wasting your money. I'm like, send it to me and I'll show you. So at some point, but until you're that person, until you have the certainty, which comes from confidence, which comes from knowledge, which will come as you help every person that you help change their health, your confidence is going to grow. So when I first started, my first 10 people, I was like, oh, please make it work for them like it worked for me. I got no idea I just hope I haven't made them, you know, I know thank God there's a money back guarantee because it's making me feel a little bit less bad about them just spending $500. But then after those 10 or the next 10 or the next 10, and they all had different journeys to completely changing their health, then I was just like, if someone said, yeah, it's not working, I'm like, yeah, how much have you got left in your canister at the end of the month? And they're like, oh, I only used 2. I'm like, yeah, that's why it's not working. You didn't eat it, right? Because I had so much confidence, but you can't get that confidence until you see the results before your very own eyes. And you can see all the before and afters, right? But it comes from you doing it. We have to get in the trenches. And so many people are trying to learn from the textbook or go, well, Lloyd, just tell me what you say, or Jen, just tell me what you say. Then this 6 weeks, we want to give you principles so you can figure out what you want to say, because you're not necessarily going to like what I say, or I don't like what Lloyd says, right? I'm okay with that. He doesn't like what I say. But I don't go, well, I don't like what Lloyd says, so I'm going to do nothing. I go, well, I don't like what Lloyd says, so I'm going to figure out my way to say it that feels good for me, that I think will land well on the person who I'm talking to. It's dynamic, but I know the principles are find out their A and find out their B and find out if they've got a clue about how to move from A to B. That's my principles. And I'm completely detached to their answers because I'm really genuinely asking questions. I'm not asking questions thinking, when am I going to make the close? When am I going to land it? I'm just like, I don't know if I can help this person. I really don't. And sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, like that person knows it all anyway. And then, you know, I don't want to work with that person. They're going to find a problem and it's not going to be right. So, okay, where we at? Let's keep moving on. I think, Lloyd, for time, I'll go through this super fast because otherwise Alicia's stuff might not make too much sense. Okay, so again, this owning a business, earning a 6-figure or a multiple 6-figure income, and many of you own businesses, right? You know this already, or you have owned businesses. It's all about you. You own the responsibility of it. And a lot of people struggle in this business or any business if they don't take on that ownership. And it's really easy not to take on the ownership because we haven't forked out the big bucks to be here, right? It's low cost and basically everything's free. But we have to own, first thing we have to own is our decisions. So again, just because Lloyd or Alicia or, you know, Rose or Liam or, you know, someone's Andrew, Camilla, just like all juiced up and like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. We can't just, we can borrow their belief for a little while, but we've really got to cement our own. Otherwise, when we hit the obstacle, and again, remember, this is for everyone in your organization. When we hit the obstacle, we're going to quit. If we've just borrowed someone else's belief, because when they're not around, when we hit the obstacle, if they're not around to help us through the obstacle, and they won't be, because how could they be? We're just going to go, oh, it's too hard. I'm going to look over here, find something brighter or shinier or easier. And so many people make that mistake. Instead of going, oh, here's the obstacle, I'm going to see it as a sign telling me about what I need to learn through, what I need to grow through to get to the next level. And so this is really important. When I saw this quadrant, I was like, oh my gosh. And I said to my mentor, teach me this. So left-hand side, a lot of you know this stuff, but I teach this to all of my people. Anyone who says to me, Jenna, I think I want to earn some money with Isagenix. This is my first conversation after I find out how much they want to earn. What's their A, what's their B? I find that out. Then I go straight to this, because they have to see this, right? Otherwise they're just going to pitter-patter. And so will you keep pitter-pattering if you don't see this. So on the left-hand side of the quadrant, employee and self-employed, that's where 5% of the wealth sits with 95% of the people. Do you hear that? 5% of the wealth on the planet sits within 95% of the people. On the right-hand side of the quadrant, business owner and investor, 95% of the wealth sits with 5% of the people. Now you tell me, which side do you want to be on? Which side? Like, it's not even a decision once you know this, right? This changed my life, completely changed my life, and it should completely change yours. And I said to my mentor, okay, tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. And one of my great mentors, Roy's on the call tonight. I saw him here earlier. Hey, hi, Roy. And Roy always says, you know, by age 65, 95% of people are either dead or dead broke. And it's like, well, I don't want to be 85 and dead or dead broke. What do I need to do? What do I need to learn so that I'm not in that category? How do I get on the right-hand side of the quadrant? And so what is on the left-hand side of the quadrant is trading time for money. So when I had my physio practice, when I was a physiotherapist, I was employed by the government, wasn't making enough money to buy my farm. Then I was like, I had a bright idea. I'm going to open my own physio practice. Awesome. So then I'm like, now I'm just working 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I'm still not saving enough money to buy my dad a farm. So I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? And I learned this concept about getting on the right hand. And in business, we own systems, and we are tapping into leverage of people and systems. And then obviously investor is passive income, where our money makes money, right? Now, what most people don't understand in network marketing, they think it's all residual. Oh, residual income, residual. And I hate the word. I hate the word now, because people are like, residual is just going to come to me forever, no matter what I do. But it's not the case. So when we make a sale and we earn a 20% PIB, or thanks corporate for 30% in January, that's linear income. That's trading our time for money still, right? We made a sale. It's not residual. There's nothing residual about that. When someone in our downline makes a sale, that's leveraged income. So that BV flows up to us. That's leveraged income. Someone else has done some work and we're getting paid for it. That's cool. Every business owner, whether it's a traditional bricks and mortar business or network marketing or whatever type of business, that's why we're in business, because we understand if we don't tap into leveraged income, then we're stuck on the left-hand side of the quadrant, trading our time for money, and there's only so many hours in the day. So we're always capped. It's really hard to get to our dreams. Then also, and this is what so many people don't get this, because I see them, they are running off to other companies, or they're in other companies and they're going, oh my God, high ticket this and blah, blah, blah. It's like, what they don't get is recurring income. And you can call it, some people call it residual. Again, I'm not a fan of the word recurring income. Every time a customer makes another sale, next month, they just buy, right? I don't have a lot to do with it. Maybe some education, maybe getting to understand why to stay on the products, but that's recurring income. And why we have that in Isagenix is because people eat it and it's gone and they need to restock. Whereas if you sell a car, how many times do people buy a new car? It's not a very frequently recurring income, right? So we've got linear income on the left, recurring and leveraged on the right, and then passive down the bottom. So you have to choose, not me, not Lloyd, not Alicia, not Steve, not Andrew, not Camilla, you know, not Adam, anyone, Leanne, whoever. You have to choose in you, where are you going to spend your life from here on, which side of the quadrant. And see that skinny line in the middle between the left and the right? It should be a big fat line, because I'm not going to lie, it's a challenging jump for most people, because it means taking on a lot more responsibility, because we have to own our business. The buck stops with us. Whereas we don't have the boss to blame anymore. Okay. So then there's two types of businesses. I'm just gonna get everyone to take a screenshot of the next one. Done for you or do it yourself. So do it yourself, just next slide. Thanks, Lloyd. So some of this stuff we're going to go over super quick because you guys are big people. You can take a screenshot of that and go look at it after this call. But essentially, there's do-it-yourself business like my physio practice, like many businesses out there, where everything's on your shoulders, including, like for me, $200,000 I had to borrow from the bank to get started, and paying wages every single week and finding the patients and then all of that stuff. Or why Isagenix? It's a collaborative business partnership. So I used to call it done for you, and I found people are like, oh, it's all done for me. It's like, no, it's not all done for us, right? We got to earn the money they pay us. So, but we get to collaborate with a big company who's been around for 21 years, who's been through a global financial crisis and come out the other side, who does a lot of the stuff for us. They do the R&D, they create the product, you know, they do all of that stuff. And we only have to do a small part of the business cycle. Now, you got to get this. This gets me so, this blows my mind, and you've got to get to the point where it blows your mind, right? So when you come to the obstacles, which you will, you got enough excitement to get you through. So let's say there's 10 activities in a business, what we call a business cycle, to get a product to a customer. We need all of those things to be done there that you see where all those crosses are and a couple of ticks, right? We only have to do the marketing and sales, a little bit of customer care, which we share with corporate, and we have to lead our team, and we get paid 20% upfront and off the gross revenue, not off the profits of the company, not after everything, right? Off the top. And then we get paid also the income from our sales team. Like, this is actually insane. This doesn't exist in the world. And we didn't pay anything to be here. So that what's the risk? We always talk about risk and reward in business. What's the risk? There is no risk. The only risk is our time. Where else do you get that? Like, we get profitable. We can get profitable in month one, refer a couple of people we know, and our outlay's gone. But I don't think we even need to do that because we ate it and we were going to spend it at the shop. So there's no risk and there's all the upside, and we only do 20% of the business cycle for more than 20% of the gross revenue. It's just like what the actual, there's just nothing else like it. Okay, we got a lot to get through in the next 6 weeks. Lloyd, I'm gonna just skip through that. I'm gonna skip through that. We'll come back to it and go straight on to Alicia, I think.
Should we do the exercise and move on?
Around.
Yep, she's around. Alicia, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm excited. I'm taking notes. I hope everyone has a pen and a paper and you're taking notes. I have been around Isagenix for nearly 10 years and I still learn from the best. So I'm excited to be with you. Who's excited to be here? Say yes in the chat. If you're getting value already, put value in the chat, my friends. And I have the absolute honor and privilege tonight to train on why executive. I love all the yeses coming through. So thank you, Jen and Lloyd, for all your knowledge and wisdom so far. Amazing. So why executive? Let me know in the chat too. Do you want to get to executive? Say executive in the chat if you want to get to executive, and be completely honest with me as well. say no if you don't even know what executive is, because some of you may be like, I don't even know what this is. I got invited to this group. I just said yes because of the energy, and here I am. Okay, you're definitely in the right space. We're definitely in the right space because there's so many of you wanting to get to executive. So I thought first and foremost, I'd share a little brief story about our executive journey, if that's okay with you. So I found this post on Facebook. I was searching on Facebook last night and I came across this post. And so comparison is the thief of all joy. And you may hear Lloyd, and he's so amazing with technology, but I want you to know that we didn't go very fast with our Isagenix business. So you can see here, we're coming up to our 10-year anniversary in April. And we ordered our products back in June of April 2024. Okay. And so if you follow that timeline along, it took us about 2 months to get to consultant. So if you're consultant already, celebrate, woohoo, you've done that, you can tick that off. And then you can see that it actually took us 9 months from starting to go manager. Okay. So it took us 9 months to figure out how to get someone else to share. And then it took us around 16 months to get to director. 16 months to get to director. It took us 16 months to figure out how 6 of our people could introduce 2 people of their own. Okay. And then it actually took us 1 year and 11 months. So just shy of 2 years to go executive. So I wanted to show you that for a few reasons, that it actually took us 2 years to get to executive. So yes, this is the run to executive. It's 6 weeks. By all means, don't use us as an example to slow down. But I just want you to know that if it's taken you 2 years to get there, all good, you're in a great place. But I want you to know that since we hit executive in, what year was that? March 2016, we have been paid as executive each and every day since then. So do the maths. What is that? That's 8 years we've been paid as executive. So I really want to share that with you, because Lloyd and I, we never train on something that we don't do ourselves. And so we're coming from a place of wisdom, knowledge, and we're excited to share with you over the next 6 weeks our strategies, our principles, and our tips. Okay. So if you're excited, say yes in the chat. And here is a real life map to executive that we had here in our living room right next to me. We haven't moved. We've been here ever since. And you can see that we only had 4 consultants at the time. And you can see Lloyd writes there, we need 2 more consultants, please, Lord. Okay. We were praying because we really wanted to get to director. So the lesson here is what you focus on expands. What you focus on expands. And so have executive maps all around your house. Have the whiteboard. We had it sitting right here. So every time we left the house, each and every day, we saw it and we're like, okay, this is where we're going to go. You are in the Run to Executive Facebook group. So I know that's exactly what you want to achieve. Okay. So get your whiteboards, print out your map to executive. If you don't know what that is, I'm going to share that with you anyways. Okay. So I wanted to share that with you. Babe, next slide, please. I'm like so used to like controlling my own slides. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to run through some of the reasons why I feel you need to get to executive, or that you should choose to get to executive. And the first and foremost is basically leadership. I would never tell anyone to get to executive if I hadn't gone there myself, right? Go the way, show the way, go the way, show the way, and follow someone's feet and not their mouth, right? Follow their feet and not their mouth. If you have kids, you will understand. I have 2 nieces. I understand that they will copy me. They will not do what I say. And so the first reason why I feel you should get to executive is for leadership purposes. Okay. The second one is income, the money. Who wants more money? Oh my gosh. How expensive is it to shop right now? I love clothes. I love food. Things are going up. So put money in the chat. You can do the $sign if you want to do that. But if you want more money, then money is at executive. You have not experienced the compensation plan here at Isagenix unless you're executive. There is so much money on the table for all of us. It's not for Lloyd, it's not for Jen, it's for all of us. And so when you hit executive, within 180 days, so if you're in that window, you earn an extra 1,000 US bonus, okay? For every consultant you create, for the first 20 consultants, you earn an extra $100. That's an extra $2,000. Thank you very much. You get executive branded merchandise. Like, who doesn't want branded merchandise? You can walk around at events going, I'm an executive, baby. All right. So you get the merchandise. And then, there's so many different things that you can get, baby. You can just roll through if that's all right. You've got the, okay. So go back. One slide. Yes, perfect. Leave it there. Thanks. So the reason why is you get exclusive invitations to corporate leadership meetings. So it's actually a exclusive leadership meeting. You may not know this happening at our event next month. You'll get an invitation when you get executives. So you get the insider scoop there. But this is the newest reason why I believe you should get to executive, and it's the team builder bonus. So basically, you have given yourself a pay rise on top of everything else the compensation plan gives us along the way. But with the team builder bonus, you actually earn on your customers' orders and reorders for the next year. And it's built on levels. So your first level, you get an extra 10%. Second level, you get an extra 8%. Third level, an extra 6% and an extra 4%. Who would love a pay rise? And that is just by going executive, that automatically happens. It's given to you, okay? Another reason is all the incentive trips. So we have been on like 20 plus all expenses paid trips here with Isagenix that we have earned in the last 10 years. And they're trips that money can't buy. And so what's happening is Isagenix has put on the Welcome Home Challenge that if you are paid as executive for 5 weeks of the 13-week period of this contest, it's already started in January, you can win an all expenses paid trip to Arizona and go to the head office. Who's going to Arizona? Who would like to come to Arizona? Say yes in the chat. So all you've got to do is obviously enroll customers, which is the lifeblood of our business, but also be paid as executive for 5 of the 13 weeks. You don't even have to be paid as for all 13 weeks. So that's another reason why you should get to executive. And this is one of my favorites, the 10% executive match. For all the people that aren't great at maths, I'm going to keep it super, super simple for you on how this works. Say you have 10 consultants, okay? You have 10 consultants. You're imagining, okay, I'm executive, I've got 10 consultants. And then 10 of your consultants, personally enrolled consultants, they all earn 10 cycles a week, okay? 10 times 10, my maths whiz, what is that? 10 times 10, okay? It's 100, right? 100. And so what's 10% of 100? 10. Okay, so 10 cycles, you are earning an extra 10 cycles per week from your consultants, and Isagenix pays you for that. So what's a cycle? Does everyone know what a cycle is in dollars, in Australian dollars? You can pop it into the chat. What's one cycle in Australian dollars? $60 the year, ding, ding, ding. Okay, so you earn 10 cycles just from your personally enrolled consultants. That's $600 a week. If you times that by the year, that's like an extra $32,000 a year just from being paid as a consultant, being paid as executive in 10% executive match. What could you do with an extra $30,000 a year? So again, that's another reason why to get to executive. And the last reason is just congruency. Like I would never be able to be like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this training tonight on executive if I wasn't paid as executive. You just show up with more confidence. So congruency, and it keeps you doing the basics. What's the basics? Enrolling brand new customers and showing those brand new customers how they can enroll customers. So enrolling new customers and rank advancing keeps us doing the basics, which is why we in the last 8 years have never fallen off executive, because it keeps us with the basics, because we don't want to miss out on all that money and all that fun at executive. So this is what executive looks like. If you don't know what it looks like, it's basically 10 people that you have introduced to Isagenix, 10 people, and 10 of those people have introduced at least 2 people, all at the same time. You want to have 5 consultants on your left sales team at least, and 5 consultants on your right sales team. Okay, that is executive. 10 consultants, alrighty, and then that should say how to get to executive. For all my grammar friends out there, you're like, what does that mean? What to get to executive? So Isagenix has a simple nutrition system, right? A simple roadmap. When it comes to the financial opportunity, making money here with Isagenix, there's also a simple roadmap, and it's called the Road to Crystal Executive, where it just literally shows you exactly what you need to do in order to reach executive. I feel like getting to executive is almost like a game. There's 6 levels. There's 6 levels of the executive game. You know, if you're an associate, you get to consultant. If you're consultant, you get to manager. When you're manager, you get to director. When you're director, you get to executive. And then when you get to executive, that's where you want to maintain executive and then start creating executives. Okay, so what I wanted to show you are like 2 ways that you can actually track it. You can do it old school way on the left. That's one of our original map to executives. or you can do the post-its. I saw Micah say, I love the post-it idea, but it's just a way of you tracking, because what we can't, if we don't track it, we can't, I guess, see where we're going. And so what I've posted into the chat right now is a direct link to the Map to Crystal Executive. You can print it out. And then have that for the next 6 weeks. You can add names to it, take names off, but over the next 6 weeks, outcome of this is for you to figure out the how. We're going to give you strategies, principles, tips on how to become executive, but we just wanted you to know where you're going, what executive looks like, why you need to get to executive, and obviously having the roadmap to get there. Cool. And so that was just a very, very quick summary of what executive is. I hope you got value from that.
So good, Alicia. So super quick. So that I think Alicia made that really clear, and you can go back and listen to the recording if you want to go through it, if you not quite sure. But what underlays that is this: when Jim Coover designed the comp plan, he was super smart, and he knew that a lot of people come into this business and they don't have business experience, right? And they don't have the skills to build this business. And he wanted to give us a guideline, a guiding path to build the skills. Because remember, what's between A and B is knowledge, skills, and experience, right? What's really between A and B is just gaining new skills, gaining new knowledge, gaining experience. What most people think is between A and B is they think A's like, A's are the main, imagine A's the mainland, B's the island of Freedom Island. And people think that it's a shark infested water, but it's not. There's not a whole bunch of sharks there. That's our fear. That's our perceived pain. That's what we think might happen. That's what we think how painful it's going to be. But really, it's just the acquisition of knowledge, skills, and experience. So Jim's told us so clearly in this path to executive that there's really 2 skills that we need to master to earn unlimited income. And that's, we need to master finding new customers, and we need to master teaching people to find new customers. They're the 2 things. If we put that on repeat, we can take it as far as we want. So what happens when we find 2 customers, we become a consultant. What happens when we teach someone to find a new customer? They become a consultant. If we help someone else find 2 new customers, that we have 2 consultants, now we're manager. And that's actually all we need to know. We create a manager, we become a manager, right? We've got 2 consultants and we put that on repeat. So manager is 2 consultants, director is 6 consultants. So we just go manager again and manager again. And executive is 10 consultants. So we just go manager again and manager again. So imagine if we just become really good at going manager, so good that we can repeat it, and we become really good at teaching people to go manager and then teaching them to repeat it. Because what people need is they need to feel some success. That's why our program, our weight loss program, is phenomenal, or our whole nutrition program, even if weight loss is not the goal. People feel results really, really fast. So they're like, oh, I notice a difference already. That makes me want to keep going. So if we can say to people, hey, if you can get to manager, you can go anywhere. Now we've just got to repeat again and again and again, and then teach that. And so we want to end up, picture this. Imagine a 10-story building, right? And you're the boss, you sit up the top, but you're not ever really the boss because it's network marketing and everyone's a volunteer. But you own your business. You're the owner of the building, right? And there's 10 floors. And on each floor, you have an executive. And then all day, you just go up and down the lift saying, hey, executive on the top floor, how do I support you? What do you need? And they've got a floor full of a sales team of people running out there, making phone calls, wanting to sell the products, wanting to help people change their health. And then you go down to floor 2 and you're like, hey, what do you guys need? Where's your gaps? What's happening? How do I support you? What's going on? And so you've got 10. So the big goal is, yeah, first we get to executive, but then we have 10 executives. And then we have a train that cannot be stopped. I have a train that cannot be stopped. Like if I say to Lloyd and Alicia, or to Ads, or to Andrew, or to Camilla, or to Jackie, or to Leanne, or to any of the amazing people, and any of many of you, some of you are going to quit and you won't be here next year. But some of you have been here and you're not going to quit. And that's completely up to you. But if I say to many of you, hey, we're stopping the train, show's over, you will all just say, sorry, Jen, we're going. Our train is still driving. I cannot stop the train of my business, right? It's unstoppable. And that's where we want to head with this. And it all hinges on those two skills that Jim in his compensation plan design gave us, which is, hey, find customers and teach people to find customers. That's it. So imagine, how long is it going to take us to get really good at those two skills? I mean, you can become a doctor in 6 years. Surely we can master those two skills in much less time than that if we decide we want to master it. Super. Okay, homework. Lloyd, you want to dish out the homework?
Certainly will. Thanks, Jen. Thanks, Alicia. Awesome. It's good to look at that map. Yeah, once you go executive, you don't want to go it again. So just when you get there, stay there. That'd be my advice. Okay. Week 1 assignments. Okay, so this is where rubber meets the road. You've got to execute on these tasks to come back with battle wounds. There's no point. You won't be able to ride a bike unless you fall off. Okay, so first step, buy a bottle of your favorite champagne. Okay, that's going to be your celebration when you hit executive. Chuck it in the fridge if you like cold champagne. Download and print out and start filling out your map to executive. Alicia put the link in the chat. Map it out, put it up on your bathroom mirror on the back of your door, put it up there. This is your go-to. This is what you're going to do. This is your objective. The next task is to ask 20 people the magic breakthrough question, either about their health or their finances. Okay, 20 people, right?
And you can't post it on Facebook as a question and then, you know, it's like one-to-one.
Yes, face-to-face. Jen once set us a task to go and speak to 20 people face-to-face with us, Jenks. And I remember going to Pacific Fair with Alicia, shitting my pants as I walk around Pacific Fair, and I bought all the products from inside those vestibules in the middle because I was trying to sell them, and I ended up being sold to. So, hey, have fun with it this week. The final step is define your top 3 obstacles and post in the Facebook group. Okay, they're the tasks. That's all you need to worry about this week. Okay, these tasks, and we're going to crescendo this and become more challenging. So if you feel like you know this stuff, like what Jen said, the question is, have you taught your team this stuff? Are you a good teacher of this? And of course, master the basics, like what Alicia said. So here would be my advice in a program like this. How I would approach it would be, I would set out to be the number 1 in this group. I'd go out of my way. Like, I would make sure that I was number 1 in the group, because I'd like to get the attention of Jen, because I'd like to be able to build businesses with multi-millionaires. You may not want to do that, up to you, but it's anyone's game. Anyone's. Stand out for the next 6 weeks by committing to this and actually focusing on it on your map, and you'll be shocked as to what happens in 6 weeks, right? And you could be the superstar in the group, because everyone's starting from exactly the same place in terms of pretty much skills. Okay, the reds, the blue, it doesn't really matter. Just if you're blue, red, yellow, doesn't matter what personality type you are. You need to be an executive if you treating this like a business. So if you think you have a business, get to executive, then you do have the beginnings of a business. And the skills that you get will make you millions of dollars. The skills is where the juice is, not attached to the money. All right. Any questions?
So just to clarify, you don't have to post them 20 names, but do share your obstacles in the group, because that helps us know what's keeping people stuck. Don't be embarrassed about having obstacles. Obstacles are like the coolest thing. We have to have obstacles because they're our signposts of what to learn and what to grow through, right? Business is just one obstacle after another. That's all it is. And our willingness to get over it or find a way around it. So, but what's important is that you recognize your obstacles. Instead of, if you don't even see that they're there and you just stopped, but you don't know why, that's a problem. But seeing what's stopping you is really important, because we can deal with that. We can work through that, right? There's always answers. Everything is learnable and everything is figure outable, but you have to become aware of the obstacles. Yeah, and so that's why I want you to post in there, and you'll see, guess what? We all have the same obstacles. And you'll also see, oh, guess what? we've all been through those obstacles and we still may be having them. It's all normal, because then we're going to realize that those obstacles aren't unique to us. They're part of the game that we're playing, and we're going to find a way to find the fun in them and find the challenge and enjoy them instead of running away from them, or instead of letting them halt us. That's how we're going to get to executive, and that's how we're going to stay there, and that's how we're going to get to our B, which you're also going to get really, really clear on. If you need the bottle of wine or champagne to really get the courage to create a big, clear B, do that. Do whatever you need to. Go to the beach, meditate, whatever it is for you. But get those dreams out, get them on paper. It's really, really important that you do that. And figure out how much they're going to cost. You need to know that number. And remember, sit on the nail. Hard. Get really clear on the pain of where you are now and why you do not want to spend the rest of your life in this same position. Super.
All right. We have a special Facebook group, Joy. It's called Run to Executive. So perhaps if you're not in there.
Yeah, I think you're in there, Joy. You're already in there. I saw you today.
Yep. All right. The replay will be in the group. The questions and tasks are out there. Go execute like a boss. See you guys next week. Same place, same time, same link. Completely different training on the way to executive. Bye.
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 Have a good one.